This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, the state of emergency continues in Southland. As residents return to their homes, the government announces a financial aid package. An octogenarian rower attended the Masters Games, hoping to smash a world record. And an unusual snapping aquatic creature was hauled out of Otago Harbour, but it isn't destined for the plate. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Simon Anderson. As residents in Southland return to their sodden homes, the government has announced it will provide financial assistance towards the flood clean-up. The Minister for Civil Defence choppered into Matoda on Friday to announce a $100,000 contribution to the Southland Regional Mayoral Relief Fund.
About 30 homes in Mataura were significantly damaged by last week's floodwaters, leaving several homes without power. Temporary accommodation has been made available to those families unable to return home while the clean-up begins. Pumping to remove water from flooded areas has started, and Civil Defence Minister Peeni Henare flew into Mataura by Air Force to see the recovery firsthand.
Waters have gone down considerably from their time here. We did survey a little bit of damage, somewhere it's pooled in houses.
While in Southland, Henare announced the government will contribute $100,000 to the Regional Mayoral Relief Fund.
The feedback that I've got from the teams down here is that everyone's safe, and that was the first priority. Now we've got to look to what recovery looks like.
The entourage of dignitaries and officials also viewed the Mataura River. While all state highways closed by flooding have reopened, many smaller council roads remain closed or have restrictions in place. A boil water notice has been issued for Gore, Mataura and the Otama water supply scheme and is unlikely to be lifted this week. A team of Canterbury police officers have also been deployed to the area to deal with looters. In Mataura, The South Today.
One of Invercargill's main streets was flooded yesterday after a water main burst. Several Yarrow Street residents risked water reaching their houses as levels continued to rise. Invercargill Fire and Emergency said their first priority was keeping members of the public safe, and the area would be cordoned off for the rest of the day. Water had lifted parts of the road and was flowing from the gaps. Contractors worked to ease the situation. It's thought substantial road works would be needed to rectify the problem. A highlight of this year's Masters Games was 80-year-old Barbara Sharp, who came to Dunedin hoping to break a world record. While she narrowly missed that goal, she did break 4 New Zealand records last week.
Putting in the hard yards at the Masters Games in Dunedin. Even at 80 years old, Barbara Sharp is smashing New Zealand records and coming within a hair of breaking world records.
Competing, I'm very competitive. I like trying to beat my times and other people's if I can.
Making it look easy, this is the second Masters Games for the Levin local, who was hoping to perform as well as she did last time.
First time was I got New Zealand records for my age group, and now because I've had a birthday I'm in the next age group, which is the 80-year-olds, and I'm planning on getting a few more records.
This year the rowing competition was held in Dunedin's Octagon in front of a lunchtime crowd. Sharp admits she doesn't train as much as she should, but says she likes to keep active.
I should do, but I go to the gym twice a week. I do walking and swimming twice a week, and I volunteer for the SPCA in Levin.
The octogenarian came up just short of the 500-metre world record. Her time of 2 minutes 9.1 seconds was 2 seconds shy of the world mark, but enough to break the national record. She attributes her fitness to her upbringing and outlook on life.
I think it's a good farming stock that I come from, but also positive attitude. You've got to keep doing things. You can't just sit back and think that life's going to, that's it. That's the end of life once you reach 80. So, no, just keep going, keep moving, keep exercising, keep eating well.
Despite not breaking the world record, Sharp had a very successful Games, taking home national records in the 2,000, 1,500 and 300 metre events. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Following on from that story, the New Zealand Masters Games have been declared a resounding success as they wrap up for another year in Dunedin. Competitor numbers were up, national records were set in many disciplines, and competitors came from far and wide to line up. The New Zealand Masters Games are now in their 31st year, held alternately in Dunedin and Wanganui. Around 5,000 competitors took part in more than 60 sports, a 6% increase in competitor numbers from the last Games held in Dunedin. More than 900 people played soccer matches across various grades, and the new sport of cornhole proved popular with more than 100 participants. A half marathon was reintroduced, and the Gutbuster Stair Challenge saw a solid field of hardy souls take on the Jacob's Ladder Steps in St Clair. Games manager Vicky Kestela says the Games were a success despite some challenging weather at times. Gavin Cameron went out searching for a salmon yesterday morning, but may have returned with a new pet instead. The Dunedin man was fishing in Dunedin's Steamer Basin when he spotted something unusual in the water, a freshwater turtle.
Not the sort of snapper he was looking for. Fisherman turned turtle rescuer Gavin Cameron was enjoying a typical day fishing for salmon at Dunedin's Steamer Basin when he saw an unexpected aquatic creature coming right at him.
Yeah, we were just fishing away there and the turtle just suddenly popped up coming towards us.
Cameron says the turtle was swimming on top of the water and swam over to him and his fishing line, almost like it was asking for help. It was the last thing he expected to see.
It is pretty unusual. I've never seen a turtle in the harbour before, so yeah.
He and a group of other fishermen managed to net the turtle and place it in a bucket of water before Cameron checked online and identified it as a red-eared pond slider. Concerned for the well-being of the freshwater reptile, Cameron made a call to the SPCA.
Hopefully they turn up pretty soon because, yeah, I don't know how long they can be out of water or whatever. Might have been someone's pet. So, you know, it's not one that's normally in the sea, we don't know.
The inquisitive reptile is native to the United States and is a popular domestic pet, but it has a dark side. It's listed amongst the world's top 100 invasive species. The turtle was eventually taken away, and if no one claims it as a missing pet within a week, Cameron might just have a new pet. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, Airbnbs are in the firing line of the Dunedin City Council, and motorsport fans were in for a real treat over the weekend in Invercargill. See you after the break.
Every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274. Lana Castle is proud to showcase their new retail space. Simply purchase an annual garden pass for year-round access to the garden, cafe and gift shop, or apply for a host card giving you full access to the castle, ballroom, cafe, gift shop and garden when accompanied by a full paying guest. Check out the website for full terms and conditions.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chin.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
No mai nō, welcome back. The Dunedin City Council is considering charging higher rates for the city's booming residential short-term visitor accommodation market. At tomorrow's council meeting, councillors will vote on whether to create a new rating category for residential short-term visitor accommodation such as Airbnbs, or to maintain the status quo. Mayor Aaron Hawkins says the issue is more complicated than the council expected, slowing down any change. At the moment, some accommodation businesses, such as bed and breakfasts, are rated as businesses, while others, such as those being let as Airbnbs, are simply rated as homes. Other councils from the Queenstown Lakes District and Auckland have already created an additional charge for short-term accommodation providers. The hum of motorbikes is a sound residents of Invercargill have become used to over the past 14 years for the Burt Munro Challenge. Each year the motorsport event sees hundreds of spectators and participants ride south for the 5-day event.
Visiting motorcyclists having a go at Invercargill's Teretonga Park racetrack, just one of the many events that was on offer to the hundreds taking part in this year's Burt Munro Challenge. Event chairman Craig Hyde says the Have a Go Day allows riders to open up the throttle in a safe environment, being led around the track by a leader.
We don't have carnage really on the Have a Go Day, but it's great that guys can come down for a rally, but they can enter that and they can come and ride their Harleys or whatever they like just round on a circuit. So it's actually good for rider training for them as well, because they get to know their limits.
Hosted by the Southland Motorcycle Club, the Burt Munro Challenge included sprint races, speedway and street racing over this last weekend. Gary Mickelson from Edendale demonstrated the two-wheeled iron horse he's built from an almost random collection of antique parts. The stylish beast is powered by a Lister engine that had started life as a stationary engine in a shearing shed in the 1930s, and the seat was salvaged from an old farm tractor.
Just an old tractor seat I got out of the shed and gave it a sandblast and painted it, and she's a Triumph back wheel with Morris Oxford tyre on there and an AJS front wheel.
Even more eccentrically, the gearbox comes from a 1950s railway digger.
Well, you've got a reverse gear, and then you pull it back and you're up first, second and third for to go forward. Awesome. Yeah.
Commentator Neil Ritchie has been on deck for all 14 years of the challenge and rates the Bluff Hill climb as his favourite part of the long weekend. This year saw more than 70 entries in 8 different classes from classic to modern motorcycles, with the fastest overall time by Richie Dibbon of Whanganui, who achieved 43.95 seconds on a bike in the up to 600cc class. Richie says weather can have a big influence on the results, and if it had been raining, the fastest time could easily have gone to a modified motocross bike.
They're so well suited because they've got so much low down power, they really suit the hill climb as well. And on moist days that we've had here in the past, not too many luckily, but a motard bike has come out on top with the fastest time.
And Channel 39 will be broadcasting a half-hour documentary on the Burt Munro Challenge at 7 p.m. this coming Saturday. In Invercargill, the South Today.
A person is in Dunedin Hospital with moderate injuries after a car crash in South Otago this afternoon. Police say the crash happened on the Milton Highway near the intersection of Station and Peterson roads just after 2 p.m. The person was injured after the car in which they were travelling left the road, coming to a stop in a ditch. The road was partially blocked for a time with only one lane open to traffic. St John says one patient was transferred to Dunedin with moderate injuries. After the break on the South Today, a craft beer festival in Central Otago welcomed thousands of homebrew aficionados, and we check out the weather for the start of the week. See you soon.
Larnach Castle is proud to showcase their new retail space. Simply purchase an annual garden pass for year-round access to the garden, cafe and gift shop, or apply for a host card giving you full access to the castle, ballroom, cafe, gift shop and garden when accompanied by a full paying guest. Check out the website for full terms and conditions.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274. If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Thanks for staying with us. The weather gods smiled on festival goers at this year's Craft Beer Festival in Alexandra on Saturday. The worst of the wet weather had passed by the time the festival started, with sunshine greeting the hundreds who turned up to enjoy a day out.
Fine weather and interesting brews drew a crowd of about 800 to Alexandra's annual Craft Beer Festival for a day of entertainment on Saturday. Promotions manager Jason John says the event is not just about food and alcohol, but also something for the whole family to enjoy.
We also have some free kids entertainment so that the whole family can come down, relax in a safe, secure environment and enjoy the day that we have here in Central, plus our beautiful weather.
Held in Pioneer Park, the weather was nice and sunny for those who came from far and wide with their camp chairs and blankets to soak up the atmosphere.
We've got 9 breweries, craft beer brewers, 3 wineries, and the Blacks Hotel have brought down some cocktails and mocktails.
Stage performers included the mellow sounds of brother and sister duo Tony and Ryan Shanks, known as Cloudy, who were just one of the several musical acts to entertain the crowd.
So we have three bands playing. At the moment you can hear Cloudy in the background.
Following last week's flooding, Alexandra has been hit with a boil water notice, but the Central Otago District Council was able to help, providing a clean water supply in the form of a water tanker. In Alexandra, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The state of emergency continues in Southland. As residents return to their homes, the government announces a financial aid package. An octogenarian rower who attended the Masters Games hoping to smash a world record returns home, having broken New Zealand records. And an unusual snapping aquatic creature was hauled out of Otago Harbour by a local fisherman, but isn't destined for the plate. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, we welcome Hayden Meikle. Kia ora, Hayden.
Good evening, Simon. How are you this evening?
Well, thanks. How are you doing?
Excellent. Good. Lots of stuff happening. Obviously the floods, sort of day 5, 6, 7, 8. Still a big news story. We've had more reporters down on the scene there today. We've talked to a couple of Gore businesses about the damages, the losses that they've sort of sustained through the floods.
Yeah.
Nice yarn about a local rugby club pitching in to help their manager whose farm was severely flooded. So lots of stories coming out. I think something everybody's interested in is, what's the overall cost going to be to the community, to these businesses and all that sort of stuff. So it's an ongoing story. As indeed is this tragedy in the Makarora region. So 2 bodies obviously discovered at the weekend. Police today confirming a 3rd person is missing. So no body, but a 3rd person is missing. So a really awful time for that region. The Queen concert. Now, Simon, you may not have heard of Queen, being rather young, but they were a very big band back in the day. I joke, of course. Queen and Adam Lambert, massive in Dunedin tonight.
Yeah. We've
got a couple of our people sort of walking there with the fans to see what's happening, to see if there's any super fans wearing Freddie Mercury costumes and things.
Yeah.
And we'll have a reviewer there tonight. It should be a great show. I think 29,000 people hearing some of the all-time classic songs. So we'll have a good splash of photos, I think, in tomorrow's paper, which should be interesting. And a nice sports story. So secondary school sport is huge in Otago, and the numbers are out, and Otago really leads the way, and specifically in schoolgirls sport. So schoolgirls in Otago literally play more sport than anywhere else in the country, which is a great reflection on, I guess, our local organisations, our schools, but of course our girls. Our girls down here are very active, play a lot of different sports, and it's really heartening. For years and years, girls could play sort of netball, and that was about it. There's a million options these days, and secondary school girls are leading the way. So that's a good yarn too. So all that and a few other bits and pieces besides. Should be a good one.
Great, Hayden. Thank you. Now time for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with the southern view, tourists soaking up the sun and southern breeze on the mole at Aramoana. To the situation, fine for most tomorrow with plenty of sunshine about as cool southwesterly winds die out. Some showers on the way for Wednesday, ahead of more cool southwesterly winds later in the week. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport are looking at cloudy skies with 21 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim, you can both expect clear, bright blue skies and 24 degrees. Moving down to Canterbury, Kaikoura is fine with a sunny 20 degrees. Christchurch and Ashburton head for 21 with clear skies as well. To the southern towns, the Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore are all looking at moderate southwesterlies with fine weather. The Catlins and Gore head for 16, Lumsden 17, and Balclutha, you're the pick of this bunch, aiming for 18 degrees. Heading to central Otago, Wanaka, Alexandra and Queenstown are all set for light winds and fine weather. Wanaka and Queenstown are headed for 23 degrees. Alexandra should reach 24. Chano, you head for 16 degrees with moderate southwesterlies. To the northern towns where summer is due to return as well. On the coast first, those in Timaru and Oamaru are due to have light northeasterlies and fine weather. 19 for Timaru and 18 degrees for Oamaru. Looking inland, Twizeland or Marama are due for light winds, clear skies and 24 degrees each. In Dunedin, fine tonight with an overnight low of 9. Mostly fine and sunny tomorrow with moderate to fresh breezy, cool southwest winds. Cloud increasing from the evening, a high of 15 and a low of 11. Cloudy on Wednesday with mild northerly winds. Some showers developing Wednesday night, a high of 19 and a low of 12 degrees. And in Invercargill, some cloud tonight with an overnight low of 8 degrees. Fine tomorrow with sunny periods and some cloud at times, and moderate, cool southwesterlies. A cloudy tomorrow night, if you have a high of 15 and a low of 10. Cloudy on Wednesday too, with some showers developing late in the day and freshening westerly winds. A high of 17 and a low of 12. That's the news this Monday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening and week. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.